Welcome to Deep Thought. The machine culture is growing powerful. The machine culture. Now, this is a term used in, I'll just say in one of my social circles, just talking about overall society. And people will say, well, machine culture, well, the machines are good. Well, hold up. If you're using the machines as tools, I would state that it's a good thing, as tools. Now, I remember I talked about this before, and somebody came on there and said, no, there's a future, why you trying to put it down? I'm not. I'm just saying use it as tools. But here's something I talked about in there, and I stick with what I said in that video. I forgot the name of it. But I was talking about how AI is starting to make a lot of decisions. It's really affecting people on deeper levels. In fact, I have a lady friend who's a college professor. And she was saying, it's starting to become a concern about young people writing term papers using AI. And they're using it. And one of the concerns is they haven't figured out how that AI will, how to really determine if it was AI that wrote something. But that's an important thing to think about on many levels, because what's happening is, on so many levels, on service level, because now they're getting robots that can, I've seen something with robots folding clothes. Now people say, oh, well, whatever, but hold up, that's costing a job. Or you got like professional services, like basic services, like call centers and everything. That's powerful. Now you could say you get a certain amount of efficiency, but how many jobs does that replace? How many jobs does that take away? That's putting more power in the hands of AI, or even more so, not so much them, but whoever controls that AI, because it's still a tool. Now, we still not at a Terminator state, a Skynet state yet. But right now, it's like, wow, that's a lot of power. Focusing on the machines, anytime it's making decisions. I mean, you have AI that's determining like credit worthiness. I remember, I thought about it, like I applied, I just hit like credit line increase on one of my credit cards, right? And business reasons. And, it was like instantaneous. It was instantaneous, but I had the requisite credit score, FICO score, all that, payment history. So it wasn't a problem with them. Only time they really have an issue is if I try to get one every month or something. They'd be like, Tusa. But I thought about that recently because I got a recent increase. But I remember years ago, I actually spoke with someone. And they made a decision to give it to me. And, I was still building my credit back up. But they made a decision. I told them why I needed an increase and everything. It was actually for an emergency. Had to get a car battery. And they were cool with it, but I talked with somebody. But I was thinking, wow, what if it was a situation like that now? It's like an emergency. An AI would be making the decision. How would a person make a decision? Now, somebody could say, well, maybe you can dispute it, call somebody, but then you might be calling an AI. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, that's becoming powerful because it's making decisions that impact your life. I want y'all to think about that for a second. You have AI making decisions that can impact your life. What if I needed a credit increase not for business reasons and stuff and, manipulate my FICO, but what if I needed it for a serious emergency? What if I needed it? Thankfully, I don't. But what if I did? Many people might. They might need that $500 increase to pay the deductible on their car that got in an accident that they need that car to work in. But an AI makes that decision and be like, nope. But it's like, well, wait a minute, hold up. Like if you actually talk with a person, you might be able to get that increase when you actually talk to a person. And that's the thing. That's where it's powerful, when it's starting to impact your life in an impersonal way. And now I know some people will say, well, yeah, that's it. But hold up. Yeah, man, you know, that's going to be cool. Well, but do you want your life? Because the thing is, life doesn't go according to a computer script. Things happen. And like I said, the only persons, like they talking about driverless trucks now. Driverless trucks. I want y'all to think about that for a second. How powerful that is. Driverless trucks. I know I have some truckers that follow me. All right. What if they finally perfect it? And they working to perfect it. They working, you got companies working every day to perfect it. I was watching something on Netflix, a documentary. It was done by President Barack Obama. And they were talking, and they were highlighting this place that was creating these driverless cars and driverless trucks. And part of the testing was on a test course, throwing out stuff into the road while the truck was driving. Now think about something. How does people might say, well, it would be cool, but hold up. A significant part of the country's economy is based on trucking. I said before on my business channel, if truckers go on strike for a few days, this country shuts down. If truckers just say, you know what, we ain't gonna deliver this stuff. Because it's moving the food around, products, it's moving stuff around. So that's very important. But what if you're affected? Let me do some money management in here. Let me do some money matters rather on here. I want y'all to follow it. Okay, you get these driverless trucks, right? And they increasingly becoming electric anyway. So say you got some electric driverless trucks. Okay, you putting truckers out of business, which is affecting like homes, incomes in areas. But you also putting secondary businesses out. You got truck stops where they selling food and everything, motels, people on the side of the road. Like on the, highway, working in those places. They might not need to work in those places, or you might not need as much. But then also you getting a lot of self-serve out there. And, you even got some restaurants experimenting with, not having workers in there. People just come in there. You got restaurants that can, they programming robots to even make the food. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's affecting a lot. That's affecting a lot, which is affecting people economically, which, let's be real, money is a path to power. It's a tool that can give you some power. But the machines will be more powerful. And you'll get to the point that people really benefit from that. Really, really benefit from that are the people who control those machines. But you don't need a lot to control them. You don't need a lot. You might just have one person in a control room. And you could evolve that you don't need that. I want you to think about that. This is impacting your life. And it's growing more powerful. How does that going to affect people's lives? How's that going to affect some truckers if they don't have that job? That's a major job, people. Truckers, you got you got some millionaire truckers. They might have a company or something. Now, if they can get a bunch of driverless trucks, maybe, but then what about the truckers? What about, people who work at the gas stations? Especially if they're electric trucks. It's becoming more and more. You see, one of the things you gotta look at stuff is you can't just say, oh, that's a great thing. You gotta look at the entire picture. And once y'all really think about that, because what I still say, yes, use it as a tool. But we still have to have that human touch. I mean, the best thing would be a balance of both. A balance. The machines used as a tool that can help. Like even with the trucker example. Maybe still have the truckers drive, but maybe have some trucks that can self-drive. And that could be actually more efficient because then, the trucker could take a nap, but he still is in there. He's still in the truck, and that'd be a good balance. It could help him. He might be feeling tired or sleepy. Every now and then there's an accident with the trucker just getting sleepy. So I'm going to think about that though. But as a tool working together, yeah, because the machines, they not going to go anywhere, but we don't want to be in a position where they become too powerful. And even with, like I mentioned, a credit example, even there, you know, maybe have some people that's truly reviewing stuff. Maybe the machine can make an initial decision and then maybe a human can make a secondary one. I don't know, you know, but it's something, it has to be looked at. It has to be looked at. And let me get one thing too. Let me get back to that example of AIs writing term papers. I don't think that's a good thing. Now, some kids, of course, they'll think, oh yeah, let it write, but then you're not really learning anything. You're in school to learn. Some kids, you don't want to be in a situation on a job where you really don't have the knowledge. Because one thing with college, and in fact, I'm going to talk about that next week. I'm going to talk about like really getting an education, the real purpose of it. You know, real purpose of it. And it's not just for knowledge, but it's something else. I'm going to talk about that next week. But anyway, as far as the machine culture, it's growing powerful, but I think it still needs to be a balance. People still need to grow themselves. All right. So anyway, I want y'all to think on all of this, and I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.